Hello, welcome back. This session we will see the carrier sends multiple access protocol with collision detection, that is CSMA bar CD. We have seen the CSMA, right? Carrier sends multiple access protocol, which was better than this Aloha systems because of this carrier sense. That is, if a station wants to send a frame, it will first listen to the channel and it will send the data only if the channel is idle now. But still there can be collisions, right? How two different stations may simultaneously find that the channel is idle and both of them will try to send simultaneously. Yeah, definitely their frame will be get collided. Okay. So in case of CSMA, even if the first bit of these two frames are get collided, they will continue the transmission of the entire frame, right? And they will try for retransmission only after finishing the complete transmission of the frame. So we can improve this method still if you stop transmission the moment these frames are get collided, right? If the first bit is collided, the entire frame is actually garbled, right? No need of sending the remaining bits. So the moment a collision has happened, if you stop transmission, then we can save a lot of bandwidth and time. So that is this CSMA bar CD. Okay, with collision detection. So in case of CSMA with collision detection, if two stations begin transmitting simultaneously and the frames get collided, abruptly stop transmitting instead of completing the transmission. So definitely this will save time and bandwidth. And this is the protocol used in the Ethernet LANs. Now this is a conceptual model for our CSMA bar CD system. At any point, the system will be in any of the three different modes. It can be either transmission period, contention period or idle period. Transmission period means a particular station is successfully transmitting its frame over the channel. And the moment that transmission is over, multiple stations may want to send its own frame, right? So all of them may try to send the data and their frame may be get collided. All of them wait for a random amount of time, again repeat this procedure. So during this contention period, different stations are trying to send its data, but no useful transmission happening during the contention period. Okay. So different station may find that the channel is idle and all of them may try to send the data and their data may be get collided. So in case of collision, all of them will stop transmission. Again, they will wait for a random amount of time and will repeat the procedure. And so during this contention period, nothing useful transmission happening. Okay. And this is a slotted system. That is why different time slots are shown here. So different stations may wait for different amount of time slots. Okay. And depending on the protocol used, like 1 persistent CSMA, P persistent CSMA, etc. If two different stations find that the channel is idle, they may send the data immediately or they may defer until the next slot depending on the protocol. In case of P persistent, definitely they will defer until the next slot depending on the probability they are choosing. Okay. Some point of time there won't be any station who want to send the data. So channel will be completely free and that is called idle period. And we will see the steps in this collision detection. If the medium is idle and the station want to send a frame, it will immediately transmit the data. So if you are using this one persistent CSMA, okay. Otherwise again there is a differing stages. So you don't bother about that for the time being. Let us think that immediately it will send the data, okay. And second case, if the medium is actually busy, continue to listen until the channel is idle. Then whenever the channel become idle, transmit the data. Okay. And if a collision is detected during transmission, stop transmission. And wait a random amount of time and repeat the same algorithm. Okay. And this is a flowchart corresponding to a data transmission in case of a CSMA bar CD method. So whenever a station is ready to send the data, it will first listen to the channel whether the transmission medium is free or not. Only if it is free, it will start sending the data. Okay. So transmission medium is free here. So start sending the data bit by bit. After sending each bit, there will be hardware circuit within this node, within the station, to check for collision. Okay, so as you know, this LAN is a broadcast network, right? So whatever sent by a machine will be received by itself also. So based on that, this collision detection circuit will check whether the received data is the same as that I send now. Okay, if no, there is a collision. So definitely there is a question how a normal bit can be differentiated from a collided bit. So a proper encoding scheme should be used, and only a normal bit and a collided bit can be differentiated. Okay, otherwise it cannot detect a collision, right? Just for example, if bit 0 is represented using 0 volt, okay, and suppose two stations sending a 0 bit and their corresponding bits get collided. So the resulting signal also will be 0 volt. There won't be any difference between the data sent and the data received by any station, right? So in such case, collision cannot be detected. So proper encoding scheme should be used to represent each normal bit. Then only a collision can be detected. So we will see an example for that also. Okay. So and here the collision will be checked for, and if there is no collision, what happens is it will check for whether the data transmission is over, the frame transmission is over. If not, it will continue the same procedure. Okay, for each bit sent by this node, it will check for collision and repeat the same procedure. And whenever a collision is detected, it will send a jump signal to the other station, so that whenever some other station receiving this jump signal will understand that there is some collision, I need not continue my transmission, I have to stop my transmission now itself. Okay, so as a signal for that, this station will send a jump signal, and after that it will wait for a random amount of time before next try. So to reduce the chance of collisions in the retransmission also, a random amount of time is allocated using a special algorithm that is called backup algorithm. We will see that also. Okay, so wait a random amount of time and repeat the same procedure. Again, listen for the channel whether it is free or not. Okay, so this is how a collision detection algorithm proceeds. So now we will see how this random time will be allocated. That is, after a collision, this station have to wait for a random amount of time, and that random amount is allocated using a special algorithm, and that is called binary exponential backup algorithm. Okay, the aim is to allocate a random amount of time for a station, but consecutive collisions increase the mean waiting time. If the same frame again get collided again and again, after each collision, the average waiting time for that frame will be increased. Like that, time will be allocated. So mean waiting time doubles in the first 10 retransmission attempts. After the first collision, wait 0 or 1 slot time. Randomly, one among these two will be chosen by the station. That means if it is 0 means immediately it can again try for a retransmission. If it is 1 slot, it have to wait for the next slot. Okay. And if collided again for the second collision, it wait for 0, 1, 2 or 3. Any slot among these 4 slots will be allocated randomly. So if it is receiving a slot 3, it means it have to wait for the next 3 slots. Then only you can try for retransmission. Like that, after every ith collision, it have to wait this much time. One among this will be allocated randomly, 0 to 2 raised to I minus 1 slot. Depending on its luck, it will be allocated a time slot between these range. Okay, so this randomization interval is fixed to 0 to 1023 after 10th collision. Any of the slots in between this much values will be allocated after the 10th retransmission, and maximum it can try for 16 different attempts. After that, the corresponding frame will be dropped out. Okay, so using this algorithm, low delay with small amount of waiting stations. If the number of stations waiting for sending the data is small, number of collisions also will be small, less, right? In that case, lower delay will be there for each station to send a frame. As the number of stations increases, thus waiting time also will be increased to a large extent. Example for how this collision happening. Okay, suppose we have two different stations sharing a channel. There can be many other stations also. For the timing, let us take only A and B. Okay, and A sends the channel as free and begins transmission at time t0. Okay, and its data is traveling along the network. Definitely there is a propagation delay, so this data from A will reach B only after that much propagation delay, right? So just before this signal reaches node B, B also sends the channel. Okay, so and sees that the channel is free because the signal from A is not yet reached B. So B finds that channel is free, and it also start transmitting at T0 plus alpha minus epsilon. Alpha is the propagation time. So T0 plus alpha is the time where this signal from A reaches B, right? Just before that, just before reaching that time, just epsilon time before that, B also starts transmitting. So what happens immediately after sending this data, the data will be get collided here, right? So B can immediately sense that there is collision. A is not yet known about this factor because the signal will reach here only after again another propagation delay, right? So B will immediately B will find that there is a collision, right? So it will provide a jump signal to every other station, and you can see that the jump signal or this collision collided signal will reach A back only after again one more alpha time, propagation delay from B to A, right? So T0 plus 2 alpha minus epsilon, that much time will be taken by this A to find that there is a collision. After that, A also will abort its transmission. So this is how collision is detected. So there is a limit on the collision detection because of this propagation delay. So here is an example of how this frame transmission and collision can be differentiated using energy level differences. Okay, so you can see here that the channel can be in any of the three different states at any point of time. Okay, if the channel is at 0 energy level, that means the channel is idle now. And if it is in a normal energy level, some station is transmitting the frame successfully now. And if the channel is in a high energy level, abnormal level, it means there is a collision now. Okay, so using this energy difference, any station can detect whether there is something happening in the channel, whether it is idle, or whether some other station transmitting the data or some collision occurred. One more thing to be added is that this Ethernet uses Manchester encoding. You remember the Manchester encoding, right? So every bit period there will be a transition in the middle. For example, a binary 1 bit is sent by having a high voltage in the first interval and a low voltage in the second interval. And binary 0, first low, then high, right? And a 0.85 volt will be used to represent a high signal, and a minus 0.85 volt will be used to represent a low signal. So this is the normal signal, normal bit, and if there is a collision, definitely corresponding voltage levels and transition will be in an invalid state. So using that, the collision can be easily detected in the case of Ethernet. Okay, this is about Ethernet and CSMA bar CD. Thank you.